Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. I'm going to do this new video series. I'm gonna call it Learning to Code. I'm studying computer science. I have been at my school for 2 years now. Uh, and I've had a lot of different subjects. It wasn't all computer science. Some of it was, well, it's all computer science, but something was web development, something was like like Java. And I thought it would be fun that I would like do a video series in which I like have this little puzzle, and like every time I do one of these videos, I like try something a different problem, like, and it doesn't always have to be like a coding problem. Maybe I like do something like learning a new language, or learning how a new IDE works. Like, I haven't used Visual Studio that much, so like maybe I could learn to use Visual Studio, or maybe I can like learn some new JavaScript library. And maybe this problem is a little bit too easy. Maybe it's hard. I don't know. But yeah. So if you guys maybe have some kind of proposal of what I could do, of what I could do, leave a comment. Hit me with some kind of subject. Don't make it too hard on me, because I'm not that experienced. I can do stuff. I have learned my for loops, my classes, my inheritance interfaces, all this kind of stuff. But I can only do so much. So we'll see what my skill level is. But let's get to the problem, the puzzle that I picked out for this video. About, I think, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, so I'm a bit late with this, but whatever, doesn't matter. A YouTube channel called numberphile did this video in which they talked about that you could, with more than 50% chance, could guess between two numbers, if one was revealed, if the other number is higher or lower than that number. And now that seems kind of bungus, if you think about it. They said it in the video too, like, what's up with that? You can either pick one of the two cards, so how can you know? A little bit of that like Monty Hall thing with the three doors and something like this. But no, they tell you that the idea is that you get a little bit of information, and normally, if it was truly random, this shouldn't. I think they didn't tell this, but they didn't say this, but if it was truly random, like it could be from like the most negative possible number to the most highest possible positive number, all the infinite numbers that there are, then it shouldn't matter. You could like, the first number could be like min a bajillion gajillion, and the second number could be even lower, because in the grand scheme of things, a million gajillion isn't such a big number. But they kind of say maybe mathematically seen that then you still have a bigger chance of guessing this. But they kind of assume that the number generator is like a human, and that they kind of have a mean, like an average. If they guess, they have an average of like 50 and the standard deviation of like 20, and sometime, and they pick something like between 0 and 100. And I think what they were trying to say is that if you like get the first number, you get this little bit of information. If it's like a really low number, like say people pick only between 1 and 100. If it's like 10 or something, then the chance that the other number is higher than that is pretty big. Sounds pretty logical, right? Now people can guess any number, not just anything between 0 and 100. They can give you any two numbers. So this is why they use for this random number generator, because they have this random number. Maybe you have read what I've read here, because you like a person decides on 2 random numbers, like number 1, number A and B, and then you come up with a random number. In this case, the person who generated he proposed that you should get a random numerator with a mean and a standard deviation. That isn't truly kind of random, you know. It isn't any number. It's kind of like they kind of like humanize the number generation, which is a good idea because like the idea is that, you know, a human decides, you know, this A and B number. And, you know, I said like you could pick a random number k between like 1 and 100. You know, that isn't. Then it isn't. Then I guess they took this. They said like it has to be a number, any possible number. So I can't like pick a number between 1 and 100 and say that and be mathematically correct in saying that I always have a chance of, you know, of always have a bigger than 50% chance of guessing it right, because, you know, sometimes people like pick like -10 and -2 or something, like then it wouldn't work with this random number generation. But no, then in that case you're kind of unlucky that people like pick those numbers. But if you want to be I guess that if you want to be mathematically correct in saying that you always have a higher than 50% chance, then it is correct. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you like get a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 20, like the chance of getting like minus 10,000 is so astronomically small, it's ridiculous. So if people like guess minus 10,000 billion and minus 10,000 Google billion gazillion, no, you're never gonna get there with like a mean of 50 and like a standard deviation of 20. It has like you have to get an astronomically big amount of numbers for that to happen. But the kind of way that I thought about this is that like you get this number k, and with this number k you kind of decide, you let the computer decide if the first number that you pick is a kind of highish or smallish number. So based on that you decide if it's most likely that the second number B is higher or lower. So, and he said on the end of the video you can kind of test it, you know, you do a simulation and see if this is right. So that is the challenge for today, and I think I can do this. So let's start. I haven't thought of this before, so it's all on the fly, which is kind of the idea of the series. You know, like you get to see me. Maybe you can join me in trying to solve this. You can like see the thinking process going, something like that. So let's start with a for loop. And if Eclipse student, oh, there it is. Iterate over array. So obviously we're gonna need a for loop because we can like do a lot of numbers, and I guess I could like generate a number with a mean and a standard deviation, and I like found yesterday a little bit of research on this, like trying to understand that video that the numberphile made, because like it was messing with my head and stuff. And I was trying to look up how to generate a random number with a mean and a standard deviation. And I guess I could try that. I found the Wikipedia page, and there's a formula there on how to do it. It was a big formula, let me tell you that. It's kind of biggish with a lot of fancy numbers in there, with like the natural logarithm and the cosine and the. So I guess I could try that, but first I'm gonna try to do the simple way. I'm gonna have A and B be numbers between 0 and 100, and also have K be a number between 0 and 100. So this number generation isn't like mathematically correctness per se. I mean, I am going to try to do that, but no, not in the first iteration. Like first, I'll leave that to a later point. But let's just try it. Let's first try it the simple way. So, like, you have this double A is well, let's leave it 0 for this, and you have this double B, and that's also if for a moment, and you have this double K. And the idea is that I wrote like, okay. So there was this couple of if statements. Like, I'm getting this directly from the video, like what you see here, these comments, I got that from the video. And he said, and it's kind of logical, that if A is bigger than K, then B would be smaller. If A is bigger than K, then A is the biggest number. Okay. If A is bigger than K, okay, and okay, and here I guess I will make a boolean. Boolean A is biggest number is false. Let's keep it at false in the beginning. And if A is bigger than K, then A is the biggest number is true. Yeah, I haven't really thought about the if equals thing. There was a little bit of discussion in the comments in this video about what would happen if this was the case. Now, these are doubles, so it's kind of rare, but I think that if they were equal, they said in the comments that if the numbers were equal, then that would count as the chance of guessing it right would be a 50-50, something like that. So I think there has to be an equal sign over here. Else if A is the biggest number is false. A is smaller or equal to K. Okay, and I guess we need a counter, an integer, times guessed correctly. And I guess we also have to check whether A is the biggest number. So if A is bigger than B and A is the biggest number, then times, guess correctly, plus plus. I think I'm heading the right direction with this. Else if A is smaller than B, and not A is the biggest number, times, guess correctly, plus plus. And I think the idea was that, you know, you should kind of guess like over 50%, so like maybe you should I'm going to generate this at first. I'm going to generate this random number between the 0 and 100, and k also between A is going to between 0 and 100, B is going to between 0 and 100, and k is going to between 0 and 100. So I'm guessing a number of how many times I'm going to be correct, and I think it's going to be like 65%. So that's cool. So how I am going to print this? Maybe I should times guessed is 100. So, and now I guess I should divide. I should calculate the amount, the percentage of the percentage. How do I do this? Math is hard, guys. Math is hard. I should divide 100. How do I calculate? Let's just Google that. How to calculate percentage. Just give me a formula, Google. I think you should just divide the biggest number by the smallest number. Times the smallest number by the biggest number. Okay, so times correctly divided by times guessed, and all this times 100 to get it in nice person. Nah, let's just keep it between 1 and 0. That looks fancy. Looks fancy. And this I'm going to print system. Oh, don't crash on me, Eclipse. What you doing? Or what you doing? Okay, no panic, guys. Noise. Nope. Amount percentage of times guessed correctly. Yes. So these have to be random generated numbers. So A is math.random. And that produces a number between 0 and 1. So I said I'm going to get one between 0 and 100. So I guess I do this. And we're gonna fire this stuff up. Very nice, very nice. So let's walk to this one more time. I think I'm right though. Like these are our numbers between 0 and 100. This is biggest number starts at false. So I guess I'm always guessing false. If A is bigger than K. Oh no, I'm just, this is 50-50 what I'm guessing. Can I leave this empty? Whoop. Or do I get compile errors? Yep. Can you do that? I haven't, maybe I could, like in another video, try doing in this, doing it in C#. It's kind of same. I don't know if you also get compile errors, because you know I feel like you should be able to like do this, like you know, don't instantiate it, but like just fill it in here. I guess. Maybe it's just confused because it sort of thinks that it isn't guaranteed, which is that it's filled, because like it can be equal. Maybe if I like just run it, it doesn't automatically crash. I don't know. Haven't tried it, and then so I guess the best way of testing this. Maybe I should think this over a little bit more, but I guess I'm just gonna run this and see what we get. Amount of times guessed correctly, and it says 0. Where did I go wrong? Times guessed. Oh, it's because I'm dividing an integer. I'm dividing integers, that's why. So, and that kind of sucks. So, I guess I should make these doubles. Maybe there's some other way. Maybe I could just go, for the time being, just keep them ints and like just do it this way. But then I have to do counting and shit. Who wants that? Yes. Okay. Okay, so I guessed 70 times correctly. And I estimated 65, if you can remember, so I guess I'm kind of close. Let's do the 55, 68, 68, 67, 64. Oh, what was that? I don't know. So it seems maybe we can kind of like get the mean and the standard deviation of all these times guessed correctly numbers. So I guess that maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I guess this numberphile guy was correct. We could try to make this map.random thing and like replace it with like a random number generator for something with a mean and a standard deviation. I don't quite know how to get it. I can like get off Wikipedia. How to generates. You can't see this, but I'm you know, doing stuff in the browser and stuff. Random number with normal distribution. And yeah, I'm getting all these formulas here, and they scare me. So I think what I need. Okay, maybe if I type in formula generating number with mean and standard deviation. Maybe there's like a built-in function or something. Does any of you guys know if there is like a function for doing this kind of random number generation in the math class or something? I don't know. If I generate a number with mean and standard deviation. Random.next Gaussian. The hell is that? So okay. Can I get that? Next Gaussian, does it exist? Nope. Gaussian maybe? Nope. Guess I have to do this on my own. Next after... I can't read this fast, but whatever. So I guess we leave it at that. And I guess this numberphile guy wasn't lying. And maybe for another video we can kind of like, you know, get into the Wikipedia. Sorry I didn't share the browser view window. I guess I'll do that next time if I like. Maybe the next video could be, you know, thinking up of a way to like generate this random number, and I'll share like where I'm looking at Wikipedia and stuff, because I guess it's a little bit boring. And maybe if you guys, I mean, I can do this two ways. I can kind of like, I think this was kind of doable for me. You know, this was, you know, on the easier side of things. Maybe I guess maybe I could have shared the process of me like trying to understand why this works. I mean, I now I kind of get it, but I kind of watched the video like 4 or 5 times because it didn't click into my head immediately why this worked. Like I can do something maybe a little bit harder. There's also this website called, what is it called? I just found it out this morning. hackerrank.com. Seems like a pretty popular site. Looks pretty. Where like they have all these code puzzles. Well, that's just only coding. Maybe I could like I said in the beginning, learn something about new languages or something, or how to make a multiplayer game. I don't know how to do any of these things really. Maybe like I could like try to make a cool website with jQuery. All these kind of things I can it can all be done. But maybe I could just leave in the comment section. Maybe if you want, maybe you have problem with some kind of code thing, puzzles, and you want like to learn coding. Maybe you just started. I could like, try something extra simple, like with or I can kind of crack it up, or just learn something new. All these things is possible, but I'll think of something. If there are no comments, I'll just think of something myself, and let's just see how this goes. Have a nice day.